Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Podcast. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Today I'm talking about Season 3, Episode 20, Emancipation. I'm just going to be starting off with the plot summary and then just talking about my general thoughts about this episode along with any Easter eggs or foreshadowing elements I might have noticed. But let's just start with that plot summary, which says, following the signing of the Sokovia Accords, Talbot and Coulson discuss registering the Inhuman agents, with Coulson taking Talbot to the S.h.i.e.L.D. base to introduce him to Yo-Yo and Lash, explain the Hive situation, and show him the need to keep the secret warriors anonymous. Hive captures several watchdogs for Radcliffe's next experiment attempt. They are horrifically mutated into primitive Inhumans, but do fall under Hive's sway, prompting him to proceed with his ultimate plan to use a warhead, which was stolen from the ATCU, to spread Radcliffe's new pathogen around the world and transform all humans into these primitive Inhumans. Lincoln contacts Daisy and convinces her that he wants to be with her, hacking into S.h.i.E.L.D. system. As her blood is drained, Daisy helps him escape the S.h.i.E.L.D. base in a Quinjet. However, this is a ruse on S.h.i.E.L.D.'s part, with Lash arriving instead of Lincoln. Lash uses his abilities to free Daisy from Hive's sway, but is killed by James. Daisy manages to escape back to S.h.i.E.L.D. So this episode was a fun episode. I always love these episodes that happen after a new MCU movie and they throw in some little connection, and this takes place right after the Sokovia Accords. This episode came out right around the same time as Civil War, a couple weeks before, a couple weeks after. I don't remember exactly how it lined up. But yeah, I just love these episodes in this show because it reminds me of how tied into the MCU these shows are, and I love that they change certain parts of the plot to kind of go with the world of the MCU a little bit, to match with the movies a little bit. In this case, with the introduction of the Sokovia Accords in Captain America Civil War, leading into this one being like, oh, well, we got Inhumans who have these powers that fall under the Sokovia Accords. Are we going to register them or not? And so that's what a lot of this episode is about, with, Talbot believing that they should be registered, and Coulson being like, no, we need to keep them anonymous for these different reasons. And throughout this whole episode, it's just a lot about, like, pretty much Coulson updating Talbot a lot on what's been going on this season, pretty much, because he has been keeping a lot of it from Talbot. And then obviously the ruse with Lincoln and Daisy, Daisy thinking that, Daisy even lying to him, being like, oh yeah, we're gonna run away together, but her actually trying to trap him to coming to Hive and being put under his control. But then, Lincoln being on that side of it, not trusting her, working with May to break out and then send Lash in his place, which I really enjoy that fight at the end we see between Lash and Hive. It's really quick, really brief, but you can see that if Lash hadn't turned his back, he probably could have taken out Hive potentially, but that maybe wasn't his purpose. It seems his purpose was to help Daisy, to free her of Hive's control, which is still a really cool part of this. I really liked how it's shown, like how his powers are going to use for like that in particular thing, and so that was a really cool little effect that they throw in there. But yeah, what else do I have written down? We have the primitive Inhumans introduced in this episode, which I had forgotten about being a part of this series. And to be honest, I forget where we go from here with it. I think we get a few more, but I obviously know the whole world doesn't get changed into them. But I'll have to get to these next few seasons, or next few episodes, that is, of this season, to remember exactly how this all turns out with Hive and the team and all that, because I don't always remember. But yeah, one of the last things I had written down was that we see Yo-Yo at the end of the episode give Mac her necklace, which is a big tie to both the beginning of this season. We see a flash forward of that necklace floating in a Quinjet in outer space, and so that kind of gives us a little foreshadowing. It says, oh, what's going to happen at the end of the season? We're getting so close. It's Mac's got it now. Is Mac going to be on a Quinjet? We don't know. We got to find out again. And even though I'm rewatching this again, like this is me rewatching it, I cannot remember at all how that connects in. So I'm excited to get to these next few episodes to get to that and discovering that. But that's all I had written down for this in particular episode. Be sure to let me know in the comments below if there was any Easter eggs or foreshadowing elements I missed, or anything you just liked about this episode or maybe didn't like in particular. But thanks again for joining me today, and have a good one.